What's up, everybody? It's your boy D Jones from Now Talk Live. I'm excited about today's topic with a special guest, which I'll be bringing in shortly. Don't forget to share this page with those that you know. Let them know that we are here. You can go to Facebook, Now Talk Live Podcast. You can go to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We want to see you there. Today's topic is exciting. It's amazing. I got my man, Social World Mac, is going to be joining us today. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time here at Now Talk Live Podcast. We're going to go over a lot of stuff, be covering a lot of stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to be bringing in Mr. Mac. Give him a second to uh, get plugged in here. Look like he'll be joining us here shortly. Harry, give him just a second to log on.
How you doing, sir?
Social World, how you doing, sir?
My God, what's going on, man? What's going
Oh,
on?
oh man, it has been an amazing ride.
Okay,
I see for you as well with all the stuff that you got going on that you're doing.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay,
As I was telling the audience as I was preparing the video, we were talking about building a solid foundation and
okay,
all the stuff that it takes to get to the place that you're in business.
okay,
Myself, things that we've experienced. So we're gonna journey down through there. Once again, while I got you, let me make sure if you are on, you can share this with those that are on. Now you can also go to Now Talk Live Podcast. You can go there, follow, like us. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. We are on YouTube at Now Talk Live Podcast. So go there, check us out, join us. We love to see you there so you can keep up what we got going on here. Uh, this is really a special interview for me. I've been knowing this young man for wow. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're looking at 20 plus years.
right. It's there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I've
sir.
known him since he was a very young man, and he's
Yeah.
grown to be an amazing man, amazing businessman, amazing father. Uh, and we're gonna journey today. We're gonna journey. We'll see where it takes us. Uh, we I know I was able to watch you as a young man. This is how. Well, let me talk about how I met. We'll start there. How we met. I was
Let's go. I want to go through that with you now, sir.
right.
I want to go with you.
Well, I had a small barbershop in Plano, Texas, and I needed marketing. I also simultaneously was a rapper. I did Christian rap music, and so he came along. He helped me promote my barbershop flyers. I mean, the most cutting edge. He made me look like I had been in business for years, and I really learned marketing from Social World Mac. He showed me what marketing, how to put yourself out there, how do you get into the brains of people to know who you are, what you got going on, how to make your flyers the most cutting edge, and it kind of rolled over into the rap. He did my first cover for my first album, first solo album. We recorded songs in his studio. We done videos. I mean, he really, really put me in the game. I just put it like that.
Hey, man,
And
you make it sound good there.
it was good. It really was pivotal to where I got to. A lot of that stuff I do now, but I
Right,
remember you doing it for me. You said you used to always be like, Jones, you can do this. I know you can do this. You can do it yourself. I'm
right,
like, no, sir. That's what I pay you for.
right. Yeah.
But it's been amazing to really watch you as a young man. I never forget Go Get It. I don't know if you really know this man. I remember the video, jumping the fence, taking off running. Go get it. You gotta go get it. You see, you
Right,
thought I forgot
right.
about that, right?
Oh man, look.
I
Yeah, hey
remember
man.
all that, man.
Right. Oh man, them supposed to be secrets now, John.
I remember all that, and I was very intrigued because for your age, you could tell there was something that you were after. That you had a way with people, your business mind. I mean, some stuff I don't even have words for. Some stuff I experienced in being around you, the people that I've met, that you introduced me to, that I've witnessed you dealing with, the stuff you're really before your time, honestly.
Hey,
If I could say best kept secret in Dallas, for sure. Man, I'm talking about you. If you had anything going on, Social World had his foot on your neck, or in the game, had his hand in the game. He was
yeah,
there.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Yeah, that's
And
dope. That's
so
dope.
in that, you we can talk about, you have had some experiences. I've watched you, and there was no limit. What I was most intrigued about was there was no limit to who you dealt with, whether it was streets, whether it was the upper echelon. You had those customers, those clients,
Right. Right.
and that was
We-
amazing. And you were always yourself. You didn't switch up just because you went to, you know, Capital One. You
Right.
know, Mac was Mac wherever he went.
Yeah. It's a story behind that too. Now, it's a story behind that. Like I
Okay.
say, we talked off camera a little bit, and like I told you, man, a lot of the madness got a story to it, and some of
Right.
the people involved in them stories don't know they was involved in them stories.
Right. Right.
But yeah, it's a story behind that, and I'm gonna point out one thing about that.
Okay.
Just coming up when I was, younger or whatever, I used to follow Master P. So like, it's madness behind that. And I used to listen to a lot of Master P, Lil Kiki, and a few other guys, but Master P for one had a statement he made on the Scarface song.
Hmm.
And it was that, have you ever seen a CEO with tennis shoes and dog? You know,
Right.
that kind of changed the game for me because it let me know I can, it didn't
Right.
matter.
Hmm.
That's one thing I stood on. It didn't matter about me per se as my work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I never went into business thinking it's about me.
Right.
It always been about how good can my work be
Right.
and can I produce.
Right.
So I had always focused on producing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Coming up with something and seeing if the people would feel how I felt about it when I made it.
Right. You.
So,
Yeah.
that whole story and when me and you met, that's crazy because that go get it, man. That's one of them hidden ones that, I let go by the wayside, but it's good to see somebody recognize that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
man, Master P, man, that alone let me know, man, it don't matter what I wear, how good is my work and how
Right.
I'm gonna stand behind my work, man.
That's right.
That's pretty much how I live.
And you definitely did that, man. You definitely, when you involved yourself with me and just with what I witnessed, you brought out, it wasn't what you wanted, it was what they wanted, and you wanted to bring to pass. And there were times I didn't want enough. You're like, no, John, this is where you're trying to go. This is how
Right.
far you want to go. And it gave me that drive to say, you know what? I can be bigger than just the
The
local barbershop. I can be bigger than just the
the
local route.
surrounding.
Yeah. And you
Right.
pushed it. And even if I was on a certain level, you always made sure I looked like I was
Right.
comparable to anybody out there.
Right. I mean, I really do feel like, man, I don't think it's a more powerful man than the next man. It's
Right.
just what we gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't see Puff Daddy or Jermaine Dupri or any, just anybody.
Right.
Bob Johnson. I don't see him as being just more powerful or more, of course
Right.
he got more power with the community because, his stature.
Right.
But as far as a person, hey man, I think it's right here. And
Right.
we walking amongst the Bob Johnsons, the Jermaine Dupri's, the Master P's and
Right.
so on.
Right.
They are us. We are the same, it's just
Right.
can we do it?
Right.
And that's pretty much how I think every day. Like I
Yeah.
pass by Walmart and be like, man, I'm finna open me a Walmart. You know what I mean? If I want to open a Walmart, I'm like, man, he can't be that much more smarter than me.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And we all get 24. We
Right.
get that same 24. So what did he do? And I'm trying to figure out what he did.
I got
You
you.
know, and that's that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that said, let's talk about getting started, because you guys started a long time ago.
Right.
And you've come a long way. What are some of the pros and cons to starting? Like, just if we would sit down, you saw a young man, he wanted to go into business, and whether he had to drive you had or not. But what are the pros and cons? You say, okay, you want to start. I actually got a video in my archive about starting. It's my very first one for Now Talk.
Okay.
Starting is huge. That is
Right.
half the battle right there.
Right.
Starting.
Right.
They taking that first
Well,
step to open.
man, what I always say is that's like a 25, 30 part question. And the reason is because it's always just to start is just as simple as that. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's the
Yeah.
hardest thing to do, but it's just as simple as to start.
Right.
You know, and then at the level of starting, it's like nobody know what's right or wrong. You know what I mean? Whatever product we create, nobody know is right or nobody know is wrong until we tell them it's wrong.
Right.
Because we create these things.
Right.
So, you know, it's not a right or wrong when you start it.
Right.
Now, it becomes a thing to where the more you learn, the better you get.
Right.
You know, I believe in that, but
yeah.
You don't start learning until you start.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's not really a science to starting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can, but I also have a thing to where anything I started how I want to finish it.
Right. I got you.
You know what I mean?
That's a big statement right there.
I started how, you know, and some people don't know what that means when I say it, but what it means basically is I started doing my best. Whatever the level my best is, that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So if my best is worse than everybody in the business, I'm gonna still start doing my best. So when I finish, I'm gonna finish doing my best.
Right.
You know, I don't have well, they got this or they got, it don't matter what people have. You know, I'm pretty much you know, this is what we got and this is how we're gonna move.
Right.
So, you know, so I say to anybody who want to start a business, just start.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just simple as that.
Right.
Just the hardest thing to do is to just start.
Right.
And everything else gonna be easy. It's far compared to.
Oh, sorry to cut you, but what would you say to someone to say, well, man, I don't have much capital, I don't have much money, I don't have the equipment that you got or they got. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, I tell you what I have said to them, because I get that question a lot. I get people always come tell me what they don't have. And the thing is, you can't start with what you don't have. You got to start with what you have.
Right.
And you know what I mean? So if we saying I'm not gonna start until I get this, well, you might as well start working on just getting that, whatever that is.
Right.
You know, I say that if you don't have the money, you got to work harder.
Right.
If you got the money, then you got different options, of course. But if you don't have the money and you got the drive, you got more than the money.
Right.
Because that's what's going to keep you there. The drive going to keep you there. The money will get you in the door. The drive is what's going to keep us there.
The drive.
So, right. So I say drive, man. Just believe it, and belief don't come from the outside.
Right.
You know, belief is one of the things that nobody can see but you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mama can't see, daddy can't see, your best friend can't see it.
Right.
You know, you gotta have that belief and don't look for confirmation on your belief.
Right. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much the to sum it up anyway.
Right. So you got started. You got clients.
Right.
You're dealing with different type of people, different level of people. You've been going for a while. You know, they say you got in 5. They say a business is really not valid until it's between 2 and 5 years.
Right.
And so you definitely passed that point. Now, what are some of the pros and cons of going for a while? You've got past that threshold of 2 to 5 years. You know, people know you. There's been some great things. There's been some things that we got to revisit. What do you say about that?
Knowing when to take the next step, dealing with different kind of clients, and every level of business, I see that it's a new beginning, every level of it. You know what I mean? So if you starting in the home and you got a home-based business, you know, your home-based business, it grows up until a point to where it can't grow no more. Then you got the level of you step out into the public to where you don't get to choose your customers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You got that level of business to where it gets a little frustrating because, you know, at a certain point, you're used to picking your customers. You know, you driving up, you're meeting people, you're telling them what you do. So you have it to where once you become a public business, You don't pick and choose your customers now.
Right.
So you end up trying to make everybody happy, which most of us try to make everybody happy, but now you're in public. You got to have standards now.
Right.
This is the protocol, and it's not about making one person happy. It's a protocol that you can sustain now.
Right.
That's pretty much the hardest part for us to do. Transition from family type business to public type business.
Right.
That's when you become frustrated with how family act. That's when you become frustrated with, Hold on
before you touch that. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, but that it's we got levels of starting. Every level you start.
Right.
So it's pretty much in that level of, after that 2 to 5 years, you start learning, like, man, I can do this and I can do that. But now you're set, and people are used to you working a certain way.
Right.
They don't want to see you change, so they make sure when they come to you, they don't see your vision. They just know what they got last time.
Right.
But that goes back to you start how you want to finish.
Right.
Now the next time you do something, you'll start it how you want to finish it, so you don't have to change in that second step. So, it's that on that second level of after the 2 years, after the 5 years, that's the, it seems like that's the part that gets sticky.
Right.
That's the part, it's almost like you turn into Grump then.
Right.
Yeah. It was fun, and now it's business now.
Oh, man, yeah.
So, we there now.
Because now by that point, you kind of know what you're willing to accept and not accept, what you're willing to walk away from, what you'll tolerate. And everybody's not necessarily ready for you to say, no, I'm okay, I'll pass on that. No, you might want to go down the street and deal with old boy who's just starting. Because I'm past that point. I don't want to, haggle with that.
Right. Yeah. And so, that's the hardest part to try to separate. Like, when Annie come and she want her friend to get something from you, and she told her friend how good you is and you're going to take care of her, but Annie didn't know you got 10 people to pay. Annie didn't know that, that bills are due in 3 days and you still making your bill money right now.
Right.
So when you got to tell Annie, I can't do it, Annie get mad at you because you did it last time.
Right. Yeah.
And now, it becomes sticky when you start off not doing business, basically.
Right.
So I just advise them all to start how they want to finish. Right. You know what I mean? So like I said, that's where that key component come in at.
Okay. So now you've been going now. I know you 2 decades now. But after going for a while, what are some of the pros and cons of having longevity? You've outdone your competition. You've proven that you're a master, professional at what you do.
Right.
You've proven all the naysayers wrong.
Right.
What are some of the pros and cons at that point?
See, then it becomes your target, and not saying a target bad or good, just your target.
Right.
You become all the new businesses target. They, because you're not big enough to be Walmart, and they're scared to go at Walmart.
Right.
They're scared to go at the bigger companies, but you're right there. They see you. They know you.
Right.
They was talking to you last year. They remember when you started.
Yeah.
So they feel that, it's, that's the con of it, that you got to try to pick who's your real friend and who just want to come take your ideas, or who want an easy way in.
Mm-hmm.
The cons of it is this, that now you know exactly how to get your money. You know what does work for you. You know what don't work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the no's become easy.
Mm-hmm.
The hours become orchestrated now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You figured out how to put Mama and Annie and Son them in the equation now.
Yeah.
You figure those things out to where now when it comes to making the next step, you're more prepared because you're gonna start that next step again. So you're gonna start that next step how you want to finish it.
Right.
You're not even gonna play with it. Like you want to allow people to play with what you've learned.
Right.
It's not a guessing game anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing this like this, and then of course you're gonna add some stuff to see if it works, but you got your core business now.
Yeah.
You know this portion of my business is gonna sustain me.
Right.
Everything else I do is another learning experience. But you
Right.
got more experience in learning now because, like I say, you don't take that starting, you take it serious.
Right.
You look at that starting point, you look at that like, it's serious.
Right.
So now the next step, it seems like starting a business is a cakewalk.
Right. Right.
That's what that 10, 15, that's what them years do for you. It
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
teach you that all business is the same if you're serious.
Right.
A different protocol, but it's all the same mental mind state.
Right.
That's pretty much what the con of sticking around.
Right. For those of you that just tuned in, we're here with Social World Mac, a man that's been in business for over 20 years. We're talking about building a solid foundation. We've dealt with the pros and cons of starting, being in business for a while, been in business for, longer than 10 years. And
Yeah.
you might want to go back, check it out. But if you're just now joining, this is where we're at. This is a proven businessman in Dallas, doing great things, been around for a while. He is instrumental in pushing some of the bigger names in Dallas. If y'all don't know, I didn't even know who he was bringing me around back in the time till I started seeing him on TV. And we're not gonna get into the names, but I started seeing these individuals on TV. He was doing videos for them. He was putting them in the limelight. He was documenting them. I mean, this is a powerful, powerful young man. And so you want to go back and review some of the stuff that we just discussed, you can when we get off. The next thing we're going to talk about is dealing with family and business. Family. We're going to start with family, then we're going to go to...
See, man, what you trying to do to me, John? What you gonna do? You gonna do it to me like that?
I've had to do it. I'm at a point now where we're not gonna touch that right now.
Right, hey.
That's a sticky one, I know.
Yeah, right, but we learn how to discuss it now. We can. Now tell me, I had to reboot right there. What?
Okay,
okay.
What are I think the question when it comes to, I want to tell a story, I can't, but when it comes to that, but what are the limits in dealing with family? Would expect you to just...
Man, the limits to it, man. I can say it's levels. You got the family who don't ever call you until they need your service, and usually when they call you and they need your service, they're not calling because they want to pay for your service. They calling you because the person they were spending their money with couldn't do it, or they charged them too much, or whatever it is.
Right.
You got that type of family you got to try to sift through. Then you got the family who feel like you owe them because you stayed true to what you did. You got the other family who they just want something, and then you got the other family who you never hear from and they support you like it ain't nothing. They don't call you, they don't come around, but they support everything you do.
Right.
So just dealing with family, once you set the boundaries of what you want out of life, period, you got to put family in that same box.
Right.
Like you can't say, well, this cousin, so no, you kind of gotta, cousin gotta understand where you're dealing with hundreds of people. So you can't point out the one person in the crowd and say, I'm gonna treat them different when it comes to business. Now when it comes to family, just family, it's hard for me to really say how, outside of family, just make sure you treat your family like family, not like business family.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't try to make it business family. Treat them like family. How would you treat your cousin if you didn't have a business?
Right.
You gotta, you don't have cars to let your cousin drive because you got a car lot.
Right.
Right. But we have a business now, cousin. You can come up here and watch some cars, and we'll see what that equal up, and then make it, when it's family, keep family as family, and business is business.
Right.
So it's hard to do because family feel like you owe them, and it's just not saying 100% of them, but we're gonna say 93%. They feel like you owe them something.
Right. Right.
So that's the and not to leave out the family who feel like you owe them more time than you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the family who don't want no money. They just want more time
With you.
with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And
Not understand.
they feel like the business is taking you away from you being who you were before you started the business.
Exactly. So
Right.
what they end up doing is telling you stuff like, you'll hear stuff like, and I'm pretty sure we all hear it, you know, you make time for what you want, or you work for yourself, or, you know, you hear
Right.
all of those things. The
Right.
thing about it is this, that you work for yourself. So tomorrow I might not get paid. You know,
Right.
next week I might not have enough money to pay these bills. You know, so
Right. I mean, I'm
and
laughing, but it's just so real what you're
no, it's
saying. Like,
real. Like,
it's
oh,
that's
but
funny.
see, at this stage we can laugh about it. You
Right.
know, in the
Right.
beginning it wasn't so funny. You know, in the beginning it was, you was mad at family. In the beginning you was hurt. You was,
Right.
you
Right.
know, now it's like, you know, I can sit in the car and joke with some people who understand what I'm saying now.
Right.
You know, it's almost like, you know, it's the fruits of doing business.
Right.
You know, it's something, you know, it's something that you don't want to miss out on. If you're doing business, you want to be a part of that. You want to get to the level of feeling all of these emotions. That
Right.
lets you know you're growing.
Yeah.